Morning, gang, on six, egalitarian in the building. Man, I got to get this music cranking one time because it is officially the first of the month, so I can play said tune, right? Give me a minute. All right, here we go. Wake up, wake up. It's the first of the month. Anyways, Nate, what's happening?
What's happening? Salute to all my people. Hey, y'all, good to see you as always, brother. Oh man, just another disappointing week in the books. But they did show some fight last week.
Right.
I can't be too discouraged with what they showed. We lost. That is very disappointing. But they showed some fight where it wasn't. We just laid down like a bunch of marks. You know what I mean? So I appreciate that part, but there's still some funny business going on in the as far as play calling and personnel choices. I hope that we make it through the storm and we can overcome the bullshit. You know what I mean? Because I think tanking's so bad, bro. It just starts off a snowball effect of bad juju stuff. Just like you reap what you sow, and if you're putting out fucking bad product, you're gonna you start forming a habit, and then you guys get out of character. And I don't know, maybe this is their character, but I feel like a lot of players are really playing hard. I just feel like it's the decisions of the coaches, some of the play calls, some of the micromanagement stuff is just yeah. But that's just go ahead, AR.
Well, salute to Anthony. I see in the building. I'm going to try and read this comment out here. Yeah, what's good? Salute to my guys, Afakasi Raider and Nutty Nation in the chat. Well, I appreciate you pulling up, my brother.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean, uh, I've said it before, and I'll reluctantly say it again. Like, we're going to have to make peace with that. This is just not a good team. I mean, honestly, I don't even like to call it a moral victory because it's not. A loss is a loss, right? Um, but we were all expecting to get our butts kicked, and for it to even come close against a team that's still unbeaten and probably marching towards another Super Bowl run, I guess there are some positives in that. But another loss takes our record to 2-6, and yeah, I guess the season's pretty much gone. And like I said, I've made peace with that. Like reluctantly, I don't like it, but here we are. We're gonna have to look forward to the future and how we can try and attempt to make things better via the draft or free agency. I mean, at least we got a boatload of cash, right? And
Yeah.
we have 8 draft picks by count, I believe, including the one that we got through the Devontae Adams trade. I'm just gonna read this comment out by Anthony here. I mean, yeah, we tried, we were in there, we were competing, but Boogerman, another interception, they capitalized to win the game at the end. Did he get intercepted? I can't remember. I thought he fumbled the ball.
Yeah, that fumble was pretty bad. He
Right,
scrambled off the pocket when he didn't need to, and he just coughed it up. Yeah, on the goal line or in the red zone. Fucking
right.
Minshew, bro. It's
I don't know. I don't think it was in the red zone. I think it was like before we could cross the halfway line, but it was at a pivotal point of the game because we were 4 and out when we tried to score after trying to capitalize off the interception, and
okay.
then on our next offensive drive, I think that's where he fumbled the ball. And like for me, that he didn't really play too terribly, or as worse as what I was expecting him to play. But the one mistake again, turnovers, is what cost us and cost us dearly from
Mm-hmm.
you know complete comeback because we were right in it after the interception. But the other thing was the offensive efficiency in the red zone. Just yeah,
No, yeah, play calling is definitely an issue, and we all kind of saw that coming into this season.
hey, get above. Come on.
We all question mark Getsy, but nobody expected it to be this bad or fall apart this quick. For Devontae Adams to jump ship fucking 4 weeks into the season is just fucking and to leave us with his play caller Getsy, like, bro, you a bitch, bro. I don't like calling players out their name like that, but Devontae Adams, you a bitch, bro. You fucking left us with that piece of shit Getsy. You vouch for him. You should have took his ass with you. Um,
Do you think there's a
even
chance he gets fired at the end of the season?
I don't know, bro. I hope so. I don't know what to expect. I don't know what they're doing, bro. I can't call it. I can't call it, bro. I fucking like an alcoholic. I can't call it. Um, it's
Well, a couple of years back, we fired Gus Bradley after 1 year, so it's not outside the realm of possibility, right?
yeah. Depending on what they're trying to do, and if this is intentional, maybe he keeps his job another year. Maybe he you know what I
Right.
mean?
I'll give him the concession that, like, the player personnel on the offensive side of the ball, we're really lacking playmakers, and he's not really able to deal with much, so to say. But here we are, and salute to you, Willie Wayne. Nice to see you in the feed, my friend. Hope all is well. And I see that Chiefs comment in there. I'm not even going to read it, so yeah, you can eat a dick. But anyways, go ahead.
Yeah.
Salute TJ.
I did have more confidence going into this game against the Chiefs more than the Rams. I don't know how. I know that sounds kind of crazy, and I'm just a crazy nutty Raider fan. But just the hate for the Chiefs we have for that red and yellow mustard team, I thought for sure we'd give them the business, and we did. We like I said last week, if we knock Patrick Mahomes out, or if we twist his ankle a little bit, or pop his knee out, that's a win for me. And a couple of times we saw Patrick Mahomes hobble off the field. He finished the game, of course, and they won all that. But I'm glad we kind of he got a little something for us. And then to top it off, we're going to see him in another 3 or 4 weeks. So um,
Salute Jay.
hopefully we'll get him in and stop this bullshit streak. But it does look like they're going to win another Super Bowl, and I don't know who's going to stop him. That fucking sucks to say as a Raider fan, but
Right.
we're there.
Well, let's just look at our side of the fence, and our side of the fence is not looking very green, to say the least. But I guess like the only news that's come about like today that I saw was Gardner Minshew is named the starter again. Um, a surprise, maybe, maybe not. Um, but I don't know. We'll see. Whatever. I'd like to see what this Ritter guy has to offer when he's ready. I mean, what do we got to lose, right? Like, I'd want to see what these other guys have going into the end of the season. I mean, especially if we keep losing like this. So, yeah.
I'd like to see Minshew bow out already. Or I don't want any of our players to get hurt, but I wouldn't I wouldn't be sad if he got hurt. I'll put it that way. But um, we got a lot of work to do. We got a lot of holes to fill. Pause. Um, we're missing players all over. Injuries hurt us this year. A lot of excuses, but
Right.
at the end of the day, we're still. I feel like we're still in these games, and the play calling and the decisions on the field, the clock management stuff, the fucking timeouts. That's all stuff that could be easily fixed, and it almost feels intentional, bro. Like I hate that tanking shit, but since about week 4 or 5, I felt it coming, like it was a pause, but I felt it was tank season, so here we are.
Well, I
And
don't think we even need to tank. Like, and I don't. I'm not going to believe that they're even trying to tank. I just feel like we're just not good enough. Like, coaching hasn't been good enough, but like the defense for me is doing their best despite the injuries. Um, but it's just losing the key pieces on the defensive line, which was supposed to be the strength of our what was supposed to be the strong point of our team, and the fact that Max Crosby is having to pretty much do just about everything, and he's playing week in week out hurt. Losing Wilkins and Kuntz Like it really hurt us. Like when you look at the rest of the defensive line and what they've been able to do, so to say, without them. Like, I mean, Adam Butler, he does all right. Um, Charles Snowden, you know, I think he's okay, but as a starter, like not really. Torrey Wilson, like granted, he had a better game last week, and he got himself a sack, which I do appreciate, but still, like, it's nowhere near close enough to watch the production you're expected from a first round draft investment, especially in the when we're trying to cater for injuries to key players. Like this is your time to step up, and we need more consistency when it comes to what we saw last week against the Chiefs. So, you know, that has hurt us as well as like, I mean, do we really need to go on about the offense? I mean, what has the offense got going for them?
Yeah.
Like Brock Bowers, our offensive line hasn't been doing that well. The quarterback situation, do we need to talk about? The running back situation, do we need to talk about? We got Jacoby Myers back, but like our wide receiver room is still very mid, putting it lightly to say the least, without like Devontae Adams being in the room anymore. So it's just, yeah, I don't know, man.
No, I see what you're saying, bro. We're not a good team. We don't have a good roster. We got a lot of holes. We were top heavy. We didn't bring back our running back. There's a lot of stuff that happened that kind of has been
Right.
making this unpleasant season even worse. But I gotta agree with. I think I heard Severe Raider say this. It's stuck with me. He said something about we're strategically losing. Like in other words, we are tanking. So I agree with that 100% because it just doesn't make any sense. Some of the play calls I'm just going back to that shit. Just like the decisions, the personnel decisions, just um,
Right.
it don't make sense. And then our boy John Jenkins, he had such a stout year last year. He looked like he was drinking from the fountain of youth, and he was coming back. But this year he doesn't look the same. He looks lethargic. He looks like he doesn't have any bend in his knees no more.
But
He
how
looked
old
like
is John Jenkins, man?
he
He's getting there in
35,
age, isn't he?
35, 36
Right.
maybe now. He's too
Gee,
old.
that's father time when it comes to football,
Yeah.
especially like a physical position,
Yep.
like the playing on anywhere on the line. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. And he had such a good year last year. I was amazed. I thought he kind of reminded me of a Cam Hayward kind of role in our defense where he's just a stout dude and you're
Cam
not going to
Hayward.
move him.
Oh, I don't know about
Yeah.
that, Nate. Like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't mind Jenkins,
Yeah.
but I'm not comparing them
Bro, Jenkins opened up the
respectfully,
season with
man.
hey, Jenkins opened up the season last year with a sack against the Broncos, and bro, he turned up. He never looked back, and I think he might have finished the season with like 3 or 4 sacks, which is pretty
He's
common
not
for.
Cam Hayward, though, dog.
Hey, but
Respectfully.
last year he balled out, bro. That's what I'm trying to say. He balled out, and he looked like he was a good piece for us to have, and he definitely didn't age like Cam Hayward. He fiddled out right away. So that was disappointing. But and then we had that McCaw dude who was supposed to come up. We got from the Seahawks or something. I forget where we got him from, but
Marquand McCall from the
yeah,
Panthers, and he's still around.
Panthers.
We re-signed
Yeah,
him. I think he's gone back to the practice squad because he was a guy who competed in preseason, got cut, brought back to the practice squad of recent because of the injuries on our defensive line. But
yeah,
he's a guy. It's just like whatever. Unless you show me something, you're really showing me nothing. Like
yeah.
I'm not going to care about these players who are like
No,
fifth stringers or practice squad guys until they get on the field and show me something. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. I think McCaw he needs like longer cleats or something because he looks like he's out there on rollerblades. These guards and centers just push him around like nothing, and he shouldn't be able to. He's like 350 pounds or something crazy. But
I
he
didn't
gets
even know he was on the field. Was he on the field?
not this no not recently, but during the preseason I noticed him a lot, and I was hoping for him to step up because I knew that we needed that nose tackle presence there, and I was hoping John Jenkins could be it, but I thought we'd give him some rest with McCaw, but it's just not working out.
Yeah.
No,
McCall's if he can do something, do something. Until he
yeah,
does, I'm not really
it's
going to
not gonna
care. I mean,
it's over.
there's guys on the practice squad where I'm just scratching my head. Like mostly,
Yeah,
I'm looking at say Sincere McCormick. You know what I mean? Like this is a cat we've had on the practice squad for 3 seasons, hasn't taken one snap as a Raider. And how long do you need as a running back to do something?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, despite the underperform, like get this, despite the underperformance of our, in my and anybody and who does their research is the worst running back room we've had in the last 3 decades, and yet he still can't get a snap.
Mm-hmm.
So what's he still doing on a roster? What's he still doing languishing on the practice squad? Like surely there could have been some other younger cat who has like at least some chance of developing in the next year or two, rather than a guy who's just there. It's like what? Like, you know, this is the
Yeah.
guy who's supposed to be the next big thing according to you remember how many cats were hyping him up on the
Yeah.
Raider
Oh yeah.
content scene?
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
since him a comic's gonna do this, that, and whatever. Like,
Yep.
yeah, what? He still hasn't
Yep.
taken a regular season snap,
Yep.
even with
That's
the worst running back room we've had in 30 years.
yep. Another small school too as well. He just kind of I don't understand what like Telesco really been sitting on his hands most of this off season and most of the season. Like we got a lot of holes to fill, and they're just riding it out. So to me, it just nothing else makes sense other than strategically losing. They have no
Right.
interest in winning this season. They're kind of looking to the future, and that sucks as a fan because we get hyped up fucking 7 months in the off season, and then for them to just sit
Yeah.
on their fucking hands like this is unacceptable.
I guess like when I think about it, like, you know, we moved on from Carr when we moved on from Carr. We moved on from Jacobs when we moved on from Jacobs. We moved on from, guys like Renfro, Waller, and just more recently Devontae Adams. Now, like these are all guys that I like. I appreciate guys who are, for the most part, my personal opinion. I know sometimes you might disagree, whatever, but just hear me out. Like I appreciate guys who at least brought some good things to the table with the Raiders, rather than a lot of these cats just come in there and do what? Nada. But anyways, the problem is like, okay, we move on from these guys. Maybe it's time, maybe it's not. That's debatable, but whatever. But I can make peace with us moving on from these guys if we have a plan, if we have suitable replacements. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, we moved on from Derek Carr. Well, what's the answer? We've had like these, we've been trying to go on the Rich Gannon route or bringing these mid like veterans or guys have been bouncing around for a while, giving them a chance, and look how that's panned out. We banked on when we moved on from Jacobs. All right, well, what's the plan? Oh well, we're gonna give the rock to Zamir White, and these other unproven cats are gonna be backing him up behind him. How did that go? You know what I mean? Like Alexander Madison has kind of emerged as that guy who's taken over because Zamir White just wasn't it. But even he's like okay. What about all these other cats we were banking on to be like this running back by committee? I just highlighted Sincere McCormick. Britton Brown's not on our roster. Amir Abdullah. He's okay. And Dylan Lobby, a guy we drafted in the 6th round, a small school guy, but he's not ready. One carry this season for one fumble.
Right, yep, yep.
Like, yeah, it was like the one area where we did address it. Well, the first time around we didn't. Remember, we tried to um, replace Darren Waller by drafting Michael Mayer. That hasn't panned out. But when you look at what we did this year, at least we found a stud in Brock Bowers. So that I do like. And salute to you. I see two guys new in the feed. BPCZ 69420. Don't worry. Hang on, don't worry, guys. The Bengals stinking right now. We're not even doing that well either. Danny Cooper, Raiders can't even find a fan that's American. Well, you're disrespecting this guy down below, my friend. Right, Danny, chill. Willie Wayne, put Lobby back in there. Well, I'd like to see him get another chance, but like, you know, one carry for a fumble, man. You get your chance. You
Yeah,
can't get any worse, right? You got to do a
yeah,
little bit better than that. You know what I mean?
yeah. It's bro, it's bad. Yeah, the Bengals are not very good right now, but the fact they still have a quarterback, the fact that their defense is still they're still
Just to answer that question, I'm actually Australian. BPZZ6942. Wow, that just rolls off the tongue. But I appreciate you stopping by. Are you based in Australia or New Zealand? And salute to you, Raider Solo, my guy. Hate to say it, but we need a GM coach duo to have 5 years together to see what continuity will do for us. Right. I for one, I'm going to give them next year to hopefully start building and finding building blocks we can build around. You know what I mean? And it starts with free agency. We're going to have a boatload of cash as well as the draft. We need to draft. We need to draft well, especially if we're going to be looking for a quarterback, which I, for one, hope so. And salute to you, Cool Kev. I see you in the building. Hope all is well. Sorry, Nate.
I'm with,
Yeah,
no,
you
I'm
want
with
to?
Solo. I'm with Solo. We need some continuity. We need some consistency as far as decision making. But there is a wild card that got thrown into the deck this year, and that's Tom Brady being a new owner. We don't know what he's going to want to do with this team now that he has some say in what's going on in the building. Um,
Hey, he's around
so
there. Salute to you.
so for me, that's a wild card. I'd like continuity. I'd
Wild
like to
turkey.
stick with it, even though it looks so bad right now, and I hate this tanking idea. It's not a good look for the history of the Raiders in general. Just commitment to excellence, just win, baby. All just spitting on Al Davis's grave by doing this tanking bullshit. So I don't agree with that at all. But if Tom Brady comes in and wants to get his own guys and start from scratch again, and that we got to be prepared for that as well. But I'm with Solo. Salute Solo. I would like some consistency for sure. But yeah,
Yeah, user unknown and Wild Turkey just pulled up. Appreciate you guys. Nice to see you in the feed, my friends.
my dog.
Cool, Kev. AP needs 3 to 4 years to get this team right. Uh, I'm willing to give him at least next season. Like I said, we're going to have a boatload of cash to try and get some veterans and some decent players, in the door and trying to help us wiggle around in the draft. Um, but yeah, the draft is going to be very important for us to get it right, especially if we're going to be swinging for a quarterback. Which, I don't know if you caught my Halloween show. I debated with shout out to Ern and critique about like what, as it stands, what I feel we should do next season when it comes to drafting and drafting early. Like I for one am. We need to find our guy by any means necessary at all costs. It's about time we swing again in the draft and swing early. If there's a guy that we want, whatever it takes. I'm tired of taking this, trying to find this veteran or whatever guy in free agency or whatever it may be. Like, how many times have we tried that outside of Carr and outside of Jamarcus Russell when we drafted him back in 2007? You know what I mean? We need to try again. You know what I'm saying? And if we're in a position where we're drafting high, we might not be that high again. Like usually when we're drafting, it's like, pick 7 or pick 10 or pick 14. Like that's out of range of these top tier quarterbacks. If we only win 2 or 3 games, we might be in that top 3 position. As much as it sucks going through that throughout the season, like the way it looks at the moment, we might be lucky to win another 2 games. So we're going to be in that top tier position in range to take one of these higher caliber quarterbacks that I'm hearing about. I'm looking at that cat from Miami and maybe even that Shadua Sanders guy. You know what I mean? What's the guy from Miami? Cam Ward?
Yeah, yeah.
I,
He's a
I,
dog.
I don't care who it is. Just whoever he is, whoever we bring in the door, that's going to be my guy. I'm going to get behind him 100%. But anyways, Nate, you got a take on that?
No, yeah. You know me. I think there's too many holes to fill. I think if there's a good offensive lineman there, we got to take him. Another defensive lineman, defensive end, we got to take him. The best player available for me, a running back.
If we're picking top 5, top 4,
If say Cam Ward and Shador Sanders are still there, then we take it. I guess, yeah. I'm not a fan of it because I don't think they're going to save the team. I don't think we're going to win right away. It's going to be a 3-year process in any way, regardless. We
right?
still get,
Regardless.
yeah, we still got a lot of pieces to fill, and I feel like that could also discourage a young player coming out of the draft to a bad team, and just you can fuck up his confidence, and we could just fuck it up. We could just fuck it up like we have before. But I agree. There is there is a time we gotta take a shot. We gotta take a chance and take a quarterback. But I don't know if this is the right draft for that. Last year, Jaden Daniels was probably the draft for that. But we're past that.
We wanted to try, but
Yeah.
we got priced out, and B, Washington were a quarterback needy team. Like a quarterback needy team is not going to give away what could be the face of their franchise for the foreseeable future. If that's their guy, no matter what team comes out of left field and offers them here, we're going to give like what we were prepared to give. What, 3 first rounders, and they still said no. We wanted
No,
more.
for sure.
We need this guy.
And every time we start talking about quarterbacks and drafting and high drafts, the John Elway always comes to mind for the fact that the Raiders try to trade up to get John Elway in the draft, and the NFL
Right.
vetoed it because so we should have had John Elway in a couple more Super Bowls, but the NFL thought we were cheating, and so the NFL at the end of the day they have to say whether we move up or down, and that's just the way it's been for the longest time. So if it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. So I'm not for trading I'm trading the whole house for Jaden Daniels, which I would have, we should have, but at the same time, I
Appreciate
kind of I understand the kind of the backstage and behind the scenes stuff that's going on with the Raider hate and the NFL. They just don't want us to. They don't want to see us win. They don't want to see us successful. They kind of just want us to kind of hover around. They make money off us regardless. So. It's unfortunate, but we just gotta find guys that want to be here and that want to make us great again. Good to see you, bro.
Good to see you, Gord. Solo, I don't know if you're working or not, but if you want to tap in, man, just hit me up and I'll send you the link. I know he's not your guy, and you're a self-professed car hater, but just hear me out. This my workout to my point. Do you remember his rookie year?
Yeah.
And salute to you, Severe. I see you in the feed. I will address that comment in a second. I just want to address something real quick. Do you remember Carr's rookie year when we drafted?
Started off 0-10, yeah.
Right. We started off 0-10. Salute to you, Lecky. Remember that year we picked him up in the second round. Remember in free agency we picked up Matt Schaub.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
He was supposed to be the bridge guy. We didn't even know we were going to draft Derek Carr, but we drafted him. But Derek Carr, deservedly so, beat out Matt Schaub in preseason and would go on to start for us for the next 9 years. But anyways, in his rookie year, like, we didn't exactly have the pieces around him then. Like, our offensive line, we had like Donald Penn came over to us, but he wasn't the Donald Penn that he would turn out to be after his time in Tampa. Like, I hear he was pretty good in Tampa, but like that first season with us, he kind of struggled until we got the likes of Kalicia Samley, Rodney Hudson the next 2 years. But anyways, the offensive line wasn't quite there. Like, it did have Stefan Wisniewski. Gabe Jackson was his first year. But when you look at the other playmakers, like our wide receiver core was trash. We had guys like James Jones, Rod Streeter, who I liked in spots, and Bryce Butler. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The running back room, like, it took till Latavius came on in the last few games, that Chiefs game where we first won in 10 weeks in, for him to start coming on. But like, it's what I'm trying to say is that this was the team then was a deficient team, especially on the offensive side of the ball. We went 0-10 for a reason, right? So look how that panned out in the next 3-year stretch. We were able to build around Derek Carr, and he had his most successful years in, 2015 is the start of the good times. In 2016, we could have gone to a Super Bowl if what happened didn't happen. So this is what I'm looking at possibly next season is like, okay, we might bring in a rookie quarterback, and I'm not saying that he's going to be the automatic like fix for everything and that I'm expecting immediate results. Absolutely not. I'm actually expecting year one struggles until proven otherwise, and I can live with that. You know what I'm saying? As long as like we can build around him and put him in a more successful position, much like we did with Kai in 2015, 2016. If we can get our franchise guy and then build around him, and hopefully everything falls into place and we can become a successful team year 2, year 3. If it can happen sooner than that, fantastic. But that's, for me, is what I can see as a realistic and why can't it happen kind of deal, so to say.
I see.
But anyways, 2 cents and just another DJ. I appreciate you stopping by. Sorry I didn't get to the comments. I will go back to this comment by Popeye. Good morning. Having America's cup of coffee. Give me some chon chon, my guy Popeye. Salute to you. I hadn't seen you in the feed for a while. And Lecky. I'm going to read out this comment after you go ahead and shoot, Nate. Sorry, I had the
No,
floor
you're
for a
good.
while.
You're good, bro. You're good. I think with the Derek Carr thing, it took 3 years to get to that pinnacle, to get to peak out. Um, bro, I was a huge Derek Carr fan. I thought he was the shit, and even after he got hurt, I was like, okay, he still got a chance. But the first time I saw him throw deep, it was just he didn't have it no more. But um,
Right.
Derek, those 3 years it took for us to build up, we ended up having to pay him that last year, and then we ended up having to cut
We
Khalil
didn't pay him
Mack.
that last year. It was he got his contract after 2016.
Yeah,
Remember?
after he broke
2017.
his
He
shit.
still had 2 years left on his rookie contract,
Yeah, but
so we
we
didn't
paid
have
him
to pay him.
yeah, but we did, and
We
and
did.
and it was just by good faith or whatever. I don't know what you want to call it, but we
Right.
paid him too soon, and we ended up
Yeah.
having to dump Khalil
And Nate,
Mack. And
I'm not bringing up Derek Carr in regards to like what we should and could have done, or like I'm trying to
no,
eat
no,
off his nuts per se. I'm
no,
just
no,
giving you a blueprint of what
I
I
get.
see can be a realistic
Let-
option if we go the quarterback route
Yeah, yeah.
now, because
Let me
I
let
see a
me
lot of
cook.
similarities
Yeah,
with what
I
could
got
happen. But anyways, go
I,
ahead, Nate.
I got you. Let me cook. I think it comes back to the contract. You want a rookie quarterback on his contract, a rookie contract, because it makes more sense for the overall roster. You can kind of
Salute
you
Raider Joe.
kind of you can kind of tinker around with other positions, and you got more money to spend. But if it takes 3 4 years to build up your team, then that rookie contract is just voided by that point, and you have to pay your guy, and you have to make some decisions elsewhere, and you don't have that same team anymore. So my point is draft a quarterback after we have our team built, so we can have that rookie quarterback on his rookie contract, so we can take it further and we can develop him from there. And we don't have to really rely on a rookie quarterback. We'll have a running game. We'll have veteran receivers. We'll have a good offensive line. Everybody's paid, and then when it's time to pay the rookie quarterback, then we got to adjust from there. But I think that's just the way to go. That's just my thinking behind it. I'm not against going for a quarterback in the first round this year, but I think there's too many holes we need to fill that need to be addressed.
Address.
Yeah, yeah,
I get that, Nate, but at the same time, like it's not like if we draft a quarterback, that's it. We've got no other draft picks to address all this other stuff, and our salary cap is just mystically gone. Like we've got a boatload of cash. We've got eight. We've got by count 8 draft picks. So if we use round 1 to pick a quarterback, like why can't we pick up the rest of these pieces round 2, round 3, round 4? Like it's not like if we go the quarterback route, that's all we're going to get. Like
yeah,
we've got plenty of ammunition to be able to address this other stuff after addressing, in my personal opinion, like the most important. Well, it's one of our glaring weaknesses at the most important position in football.
yeah. We'll see. Hey, I'm open minded, bro. I can see us I
Yeah.
can see us doing either or, but I do have my preference. I feel like there is a right way to do it, but I what do I know?
No,
So
that's okay. Like you're not the only one who disagrees with me, and I'm not saying my opinion's the end all be all because it's not. It's just an
no,
opinion at
yeah,
the end of the day.
hey, yeah,
Opinions are like
conversation.
assholes. Everybody got one, right?
Yeah, we're
Um,
good.
but I do want to go back to this comment
Yeah,
here by Severe. The Texans had Will Anderson higher on their board, but drafted Stroud first because they knew the price tag to move up for him would be potentially higher than moving up for Anderson. Uh, well, I mean, look, CJ Stroud has seen success since he's been in the league, and hopefully we can find a guy who can replicate that straight off the rip. So salute to you. And my guy Raider Joe, good to see him in the feed. Good morning, AR guys. I like the perspective, AR. However, what concerns me is we're so hopeful in history repeating itself. I hope you're right, brother. Maybe we can build a franchise QB. Well, for me, it's like a lot of us are scared of history repeating itself, being that like we took Jamarcus Russell, and that's why a lot of people are afraid of us going the quarterback route in the draft. But like it's what I keep saying. Like, how long ago was that? That was nearly 2 decades ago.
yeah,
20 years. Like it was 17 years. By next year, it'll be 18. That's nearly 2 decades.
Yeah.
Like, there's got to come a time when we're at the pit point where we are now, where it's similar to where we were then, where it's like, right, well, it's been long enough. We need to try again. But anyways, salute to
No.
Seabass. I see him in the building. Good to see you in the
Hey,
feed, my
no
friend.
doubt.
And Billy Davis, appreciate you, brother. Good morning
Yes,
to you.
sir. Yes, sir.
Nate, sorry, I've been taking a lot of time on the floor, so
Nah, bro,
you
you
go ahead
good.
and shoot, man.
You cooking. You cooking. Uh, I forget what I was gonna say. Yeah, I forget. I'm just sitting on
I'll just read out some of these comments.
Yeah.
Seabass, I like Ward Sanders, but we need a running back, not a fullback, and get wide receivers and build the O line. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you there. Like I wouldn't. We need a running back. Like, none of these cats impress me at all. So yeah, we do need a running back. We need to get a wide receiver as well. So wherever we try to address them, I'm with it. Like let's get some more young cats in here, and hopefully they can, one if not both areas, we can find ourselves guys that can take over that spot.
Yeah.
Just another DJ. This is the first time I've seen you in my feed. Hopefully it's not the last, but appreciate you stopping by. Before the Raiders think about drafting a QB, they need to have a solid plan to fix the O-line. Well, this is where I guess I have like my perspective on it, and it might not be popular, but like I think they've already like they've tried to make a plan already, which I do like, despite the struggles this year about the offensive line as a whole. I like that we have a young nucleus there that should develop to be something nice. They might not be there yet. Like the offensive line is just not producing when it comes to pass protection and the running game. But like the guys that we've drafted for in JPJ and DJ Glaze, I think are outperforming for the most part what we expected from them so early. So that's a positive. Dylan Parham, he's been doing okay. You know, he's another young cat. And Thea Mumford, I had high hopes for, and I still do. He hasn't really seen the field as much as what I'd like to. But those four young guys, like they're guys that with a little bit more time and development, like we can have a better offensive line if we find maybe another piece or two, like replace these older cats like Colton Miller and Andre James, whose time I think, like, thank you for your services, but maybe it's time to move on from them. Andres Pete, he can get up out of here. Cody Whitehair, he can get up out of here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But what
Yeah.
say you, Nate? You're the
Hey.
offensive line expert on the
Hey.
panel.
I'm
I'm just
glad.
a fan.
I'm glad everybody's on the same time I am now. Andre James is not it. He hasn't been it for a few years now. He was serviceable. He was kind of like a fill-in guy, and he kind of thought he could develop into something better, and he just kind of plateaued, and he's been where he's at, and he hasn't gotten any better, obviously. He's our weakest point in our offensive line. You see him getting tossed around left and right, slipping on his own feet, tripping on himself, blocking his own guys. He making tackles on his own running backs. He's just terrible. Colton Miller, it's sad to see him deteriorate the way he has. It is a little sad to see him kind of swivel away like that. But that's what happens. You're 6'8", 6'9", you 300 pounds plus. Your ligaments and your joints they don't move the same way as they do in your 30s as they did in your 20s. And so,
Can you read that comment by Seabass, Nate?
how would you coach up the O-line? Yeah, go to power. We're going power. We're gonna do that real bully shit. We're gonna fucking really punch you in your mouth, and it's a mano, amigo. It's power all day. I don't like the zone shit. We don't got the guys for the zone shit. They're not scrappy enough for the zone shit. I feel like these guys
When
are
can
just
you
more
ever
like
remember that we employed a
no, we're
zone
not.
scheme after running power and we've been successful?
We're not a zone team. We never have in the history of the Raiders. We got to get back to the power. That's just what we do. I remember
Were we
Lincoln.
zoning in McDaniel's scheme when
Yeah,
Jacobs had
yeah,
his record? Was that zone?
mostly. Yeah.
Okay.
They switched it up. They had some power plays, but we were mostly zone. He tried to run the zone, but yeah.
Did you say mostly?
Yeah. We did mostly.
You ever seen Aliens?
No. Aliens.
Well, you wouldn't get the reference, but maybe people in the chat might get it. They mostly
The,
come at night, mostly. But
oh,
anyways,
with that lady. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking. Yeah,
the
it's been
little
a long
girl, yeah.
time. Yeah. It's been a long time.
Yeah. Anyways,
Yeah, yeah. O line, fucking. They're just less Lackler, less. I don't know, I'm gonna say that, but it's not been good. We've been doing a lot of catching. It's I to watch Colton Miller, just he's out there with one arm pretty much. It's not
right.
good. So as a coach, you gotta be able to see that. You got to save him from himself. Put Munford out there, even give Colton Miller some more help with some tight end help, some running back help. I don't max protection. I don't know what we got to do, but it's
Gee, what a sad state of affairs when you're saying we need to
help
toss
Colton Miller.
in help, right?
Yeah,
And there
yeah.
goes my light. I'm in the dark like Dustin. Go ahead, Nate.
Yeah. Um. Bro, we gotta call quick pass plays. We gotta roll the quarterback out of the pocket. We gotta change the protection, slide the protection. Minshew likes to roll to his right. He likes to release the ball from his right. That's what we should be doing. That's what we should have been doing. Pick and choose it.
Pick and choose. Talking about Minshew.
Oh, okay, yeah. We got to get him. We got to slide the protection. We got to get Brock Bowers the ball. I don't know how you don't target him in the red zone one time. It's crazy. It's crazy. I just got to assume that we're calling it in, and it's just they're content with where we're at, and
I appreciate that, Seabass. Sorry, go ahead.
You're good, bro. You're good. Yeah. If AP wants to run,
Just another DJ says if AB wants his run first offense like he's envisioned, then Miller, James, and Parham has to be moved. They're finesse linemen who like to dance and block. Look, I don't know about you, Nate. Me not being a technical expert, like I don't give a shit. Just whatever it takes to make it work. I don't care if it's a zone block scheme, a power blocking scheme, a fucking Santa Claus Antarctica fucking blocking scheme. Like, just make it work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just want to go back to this comment here by Egalitarian. Tom Telesco should re-sign Nate Hobbs, Malcolm Kuntz, Robert Spillane, Trayvon Morig, and Adam Butler. Of those, how many players is he listed? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Of those, shit, I've lost count again. Those 5 guys, who would you say would be the priority?
Nate Hobbs kind of has that attitude. Malcolm Kuntz is kind of a question mark with his injuries. Robert Spillane, it feels like he might be injury. He might be one injury away from calling it quits. Trayvon Moore.
How old is Spillane? Did anybody answer that in the chat? Go ahead.
I'm gonna say like 28, but maybe 27, 28, somewhere around there. But I'm just guessing. And then Morg would be at the bottom of that list for me. I'm just not impressed with Morg. I don't know how much money he would want, but I'm guessing it's his first contract since his rookie year. He's going to want a bag, and I'm not willing to pay that. Adam Butler, I like Adam Butler a lot. I just don't think he'd be a priority. I gotta go Hobbs.
Nate Hobbs would be your priority.
I gotta go Hobbs. Yeah.
I guess Nate Hobbs is the consistent.
Yeah, it's between Hobbs and Kuntz, but even Hobbs past his first 3 years, he had a lot of injuries. He kind of missed a few games, but this year he seems like he's playing pretty solid. Like he's really playing for his contract. So, to me, like Hobbs has earned it. Spillane definitely earned it, but Spillane, there's a question mark there as far as
Spillane, if he's healthy, would be my answer.
Yeah,
he'd be my priority, and then I guess Nate Hobbs. Like it's a shame that Malcolm Kuntz like isn't really in the conversation now because he's coming off a season-ending injury. But like, I hope to see him back. I really do. But it sucks when players like look like they're trending upwards and they're going to play well enough and deservedly so earn a good contract, and they go down to injury, and it looks like they're not even going to make half the money that they could have made if they were kept trending upwards. So we will see.
Well,
Lecky, I appreciate it.
I,
Tom Telesco should re-sign both Hobbs and Spillane. I don't know about the rest. Go ahead, Nate. You want to say something?
um, I don't know how much loyalty Malcolm Kuntz has to the Raiders. I'd be interesting to see if he gives us some kind of deal, or if he just prices us out, or he just doesn't want him to stay here and he has the option to go wherever he wants. Um, we kind of did him dirty his first 2-3 years. We kind of wrote him out on the bench, and the last year we gave him 8 games, and he came away with 8 sacks, and we kind of let him loose.
Right.
But a lot of that goes on Patrick Graham for not being more demanding of him getting more playing time. So he might have a grudge against Patrick Graham for all I know. I'm just guessing. I know I'd probably feel some type of way if I got sat on the bench for 3 years straight and down there, and then it was time for me to get paid, and he might pull a Josh Jacobs on us, just want to leave the building. He just doesn't want no part of it. So I'm interested to see what happens with Kuntz. Definitely.
Me too.
But
Shit, I bought his jersey in the friggin' off
yeah,
season, and I might
yeah.
not be able to wear it while he's an active Raider.
Ooh, guys, that's tough. Yeah, that sucks. It's hard. It's
But
hard to
like
buy. It's hard to buy
on the
your
flip
jersey.
side of that, like Kuntz was before injury by accounts in the training camp taking on that leadership role, and like seemed like he wanted to be here, and he wanted to be a leader and a mentor to the young cats, which I did like. So maybe that might play into it why he'll be back, but we will see. It's going to be an interesting uh, point of the off season whether we re-sign him or we let him walk, or he just wants to go for the highest bid. Tyrell
I,
Wilson is the next Khalil Mack. You must be trolling with that one, Jerry.
I will say this about Kuntz. He did in the preseason. The one game I saw, that maybe 2 games. I don't know how many it was, but he looked a little lethargic. He looked like he put some weight on. He didn't look like the same slim Kuntz that we were used to, kind of wiry, kind of bendy. He looked a little more stiff. Looked like he put some weight on. I don't know if that was designed by Patrick Graham, or if he was asked by the coaches to do that, but maybe that contributed to his injury. More weight on his knees, and he couldn't bend the same way. I don't know what happened with the injury, but maybe that's another issue. So that's something else to think about. But yeah.
Did you see that one, Nate? Raider Joe, he won a Kuntz signed jersey in a raffle. That was Millennial Raider. Salute to him. He had check this out. So he had 2 raffle draws in the space of a couple of weeks, and my guy Raider Joe won them both
Sick.
out of like 50
I,
people on
I think
both times.
was the Shane Leckler one of them, right?
Yeah, so Shane Leckler first,
Yeah. I
and
saw that
then
one. Yeah.
Malcolm
Kuntz.
Kuntz after that.
Yeah. That's dope. That's
How
cool.
much time do you have left, Nate, before you got to get going?
I got a few minutes. I mean, you got some more? Yeah.
Just real quickly, and this is something that came about like on Banther's, I believe it's Just Win Baby podcast, where they were talking about doing like an all-time thing. And since he brought up a Shane Leckler, I was considering maybe for the next couple of weeks, like maybe not an all-time thing, because it's a lot of these cats going past like the turn of the millennium is, like you can hear, I've heard good things about them, but I haven't seen them play and I can't judge them off that, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
I think a reasonable range would be, let's say you a post-millennium team. We could do that in the next couple of weeks. How do you feel about that?
Yeah. Let's do it. Yeah.
Especially you'd be very knowledgeable since then. You've been watching Raider football for how long?
Yeah. Since mid-90s. Yep.
All right, well, let's do that. Yeah?
Yep. I got
All
you.
right. We'll
Yes,
start from
sir.
next week and then slowly work our way across till the end of the season, just for a bit of fun, right?
We'll start with like offense, defense, and special teams and all that. Yeah. We'll do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I just had a thought. Like when we mentioned Shane Leckler. Maybe
Yeah,
we'll just quickly just touch on that. Who would be your post-millennium punter?
it's Shane. That's got to be Shane. He was a dog. The corner topping punts. He was the king of those. That the hang time on that shit was fucking. The placement was spectacular. Shane Leckler was definitely a legend. I'm sad he didn't retire a Raider. He ended up finishing his career with the Texans, I believe, and
Yeah, I
he
think
did
so. Yeah,
he did pretty good for them as well. So Shane Leckler was,
but
yeah. I think
to
Shane
be
Leckler.
fair, we moved on at the right time from Leckler.
You think so? I don't know. I think Shane Leckler was more valuable to us than Janikowski. That might be kind of controversial.
Well,
If Janikowski kicked a bunch of field goals for us, but
I'll
I
just
think
I'll just read out this comment here. Let's take time to go down memory lane. Anybody remember what happened 1 year ago at this time is when our season turned around, I guess, with AP and co, right? And when McDaniels was fired, I believe.
yeah,
Yeah. Or maybe it was the beatdown against the Chargers. I don't know. Um, yeah, maybe you can enlighten us, Joe. But just real quickly for me, like, with Leckler, yes, he was. I'd take Leckler as well. But when we moved on from him, it was the season that um, Marquette King debuted in preseason, and we stashed him on the practice squad with a toe injury, right? Because we wanted to give Shane Leckler his last season while he was on contract, and then after that we moved on to Marquette King, who was a good punter in his own right, was able to give us more continuity at the punter position. When yes, we've had like our struggles over the years at certain positions, and salute to you, West Side, I see you in the building. Good morning to you. But punter is one of the positions that we've always had a legacy of success. You know what I mean? And it started this millennium with Shane Leckler. It went on to Marquette King. We had that brief period where it was kind of shit with that guy we drafted. I think Johnny Townsend. God, he was terrible.
mm-hmm,
But then after
mm-hmm,
Townsend, we found AJ Cole. So
mm-hmm.
yeah, but
Yeah,
I agree with you, Shane Leckler, and then my backup would be AJ Cole, who
yeah.
could turn out to be, if he keeps training, better than Shane Leckler, but we will see. And then Market King gets an honorable
Yeah,
mention for me.
yeah, no, Marquette King was hell of a talent. He was he was pretty he was
Sorry,
pretty
West
good.
Side, we're talking about post millennium. I appreciate the
Oh
comment
yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Anyways,
Great
go ahead,
guy,
continue.
Hall of Fame legend. Yeah, no doubt. But
And
Marquette King,
Panther in the
if
chat, appreciate you,
if
brother.
it if it wasn't for some of that bullshit, bro, I would have stuck by Marquette King. But he's too funny with his shit. That fucking that diva mentality at punter. I wasn't gonna put up with it at all. But he hit hell of a talent. Yeah.
Right. Do you remember how much heat he got from,
Oh yeah.
especially from the likes of Bruce Irvin for that photo with Aqib Talib at the
Oh,
Pro Bowl? Do you remember that?
what happened? I remember he got a lot of heat. I didn't like him. I thought I
Salute
crossed
to
him
you,
out.
Anthony Jefferson. Nice to see you in the feed, my friend. Okay, so do you remember the 2016 season? Was it 2016? It
The
was it was
playoffs.
one it was either 2015 or 2016. I'm pretty sure it's 2016 where Marquette King, this was after the chain
With
incident
the
with
chain. Yeah, yeah,
between Crabtree and Aqib Talib. Remember that? And everyone,
yeah, yeah.
most Raider fans will not forget that. But anyways, come the Pro Bowl that season, Marquette King was going around being a groupie to a lot of the players and that, and he thought it was a good idea to take a photo with Talib, reenacting the chain grabbing incident,
Mm-hmm,
and that brought the ire of the team, especially Bruce Irvin, who tweeted out like "No loyalty, shake my head," and was
mm-hmm,
actually very vocal about joining special teams and putting on a hit on Marquette King specifically when he moved over to the Denver Broncos. And I'm going to read this comment out here, Wild Ogletree. Out of all the NFL teams this Australian dude could have chosen, he chose the Raiders. Yeah, well, for better for worse, is Red Nation to our life. Who the fuck is your team, and what the fuck do you care about who I choose as my team?
Oh man, Afakasi getting hit
You
today.
calling me a poor bastard? You need a dick. Fuck you.
Yeah,
Anyways, go ahead.
Raiders, bitch.
Ready, bitch.
Hell yeah. Hey, we no apologies over here, sucker.
Yeah. Fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Anyways, go ahead.
Nah, much love, much love. It's just it's tough. But yeah, the Marquette King shit, yeah, that was crazy. He made his bed. He made his bed, and he kind of got exiled from the rest of the league, and I think he had a stigma around him as well. It's hard to work with, so teams didn't sign him because he was a talent. He was definitely a talent. And there's other players in the league that he could have took their job easily, but if the kids at the playground don't want to play with you, you know what I mean. You don't get to play none of the game. So that's what
Bro.
Marquette King kind of had to deal with. But yeah,
I still have some fun memories of Marquette King. Like, yeah, he had his moments, but he also had his good moments. So
yeah,
for me, the good outweighed the bad while he was a Raider.
yeah.
Anything you want to finish off on before we
100%.
get up out of
No,
here?
I mean that's it for me. Unless you guys got something for us, y'all catch me tonight later on. Just Win Baby podcast, 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
I got you.
I'll be with my guys and we'll be chopping it up some more from there. Get a little more detailed and some other stuff that's going on. But yeah,
My guy,
I
like it.
appreciate you as always, AR. It's always good to see you and chop
Thanks
it
for
up.
joining me on this in the dark
Hey.
Batman kind of. Sorry about this. Like, usually, you guys know what it is. I'm usually on my
Yeah,
computer doing this kind of thing. I'm doing some night work, so
get your
yeah,
money,
I'm
Bubba.
trying to
Get your
make the
money.
best of it.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
yeah, this lighting situation. If I'm gonna do this again, I'm gonna have to improve on this because this
yeah, yeah,
shooting in the dark just ain't my thing. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
How else am I
I,
gonna show my flippy teeth?
I was born in the dark.
That was Bane.
All right.
But still, I guess it works.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
appreciate you, mate. Thank you for taking your time for us. There you go. It took you till the end of the show to give
Yeah,
us your
yeah,
best
yeah,
Eastern
yeah.
impersonation, but better late than never. But anyways, everyone in the chat, Raider Joe, user unknown, Lecky, just
My
another
dogs.
DJ. First time seeing you. I hope you enjoyed
Yeah,
the show. Everybody else who pulled up, even the trolls. Thanks to the love gang. Raider Nation, Red Nation for life. Win, lose, or tie. You know what time it is. It's Red Nation till we what, Nate?
motherfucking die.
You hear that, trolls in the chat? Till we motherfucking die. Whether we win, lose, or motherfucking tie. It don't
All
matter.
right.
It ain't never going to change. Anyways, gang, take care, yo. We'll see you on the flip side. All right.
Yeah.